Hey everyone, today I'm going to be talking about no spend January. That's right, I am doing a no spend in January and I'm so excited about it. I am ready to tackle this new year and to tackle a month of no spending. So let's get started. I'll show you my printable, my tracker, the reasons why I'm doing this, and the things that I'm not buying in the month of January at all. Hopping over to my no spend month printable, I have a tracker up top for me to color in the days that I did not spend any money. And this is mostly focused on me because Jason will still be getting his personal money, but I am doing it differently for me. And overall, for the whole budget, we have cut back a lot. But I just wanted to throw that out first. And then I have the second page of the printable that is for at the end when I am done to kind of recap my experience and see what I did and how I felt and what kept me motivated or how I can do better next time. I find that if I'm going to do a challenge like this, I really want to dig in and figure out what worked and what didn't so that I can both share those experiences and do better when I do it next time. So the reasons why I am doing this no spend month. I really want to put more in our car fund and get that car fund done. That is the biggest one. Secondly, we do need to adjust for smaller paychecks in the month of January. I took off several unpaid days at the end of the year and we were closed and we have unpaid days for those. So I will be getting smaller paychecks. We also shuffled around insurance and added some life insurance and stuff. So my checks are going to be smaller and that's just how it is. And then we want to reset spending habits. This is a big one for me. I find that I get very spendy toward the end of the year because I'm allowing myself to spend with Christmas and the money's saved up and that's great, but it can bleed over very easily for me into the new year because it's January, it's depressing, it's rainy, it's cold, it's snowy sometimes. It's just not the most fun time of year and I get a little seasonal depression, so I just want to reset those habits. And for the no buy list, basically this means no activities, like no going to movies, no concerts, anything like that. No shopping. Basically, I got to stay out of stores, no home goods, nothing like that. No clothing. I have been buying clothes for myself almost every month with my personal money, and I just don't need to do that. And then no bodega snacks. At work, we have a little snack area that we call the bodega, and I have got to stay out of it because I spend way too much money on snacks. And then no eating out without gift cards. This is also a downfall for me. I will go buy lunch or something during the week, especially, and I do not need to do that. So unless I have a gift card, which I did get a couple for Christmas, I have like a Starbucks card and a Panera card. Except for those two small cards, I am not buying out any meals for the month. And we are not going to go out on date nights unless we have a gift card. So exemptions for my no spend guidelines. We have to pay our bills and our mortgage, obviously. We have one planned item in the month that has been planned for several months that just can't be moved. So we're going to pay for that. And then Jason has a softball fee that's due now for the softball season that's later in the year, but it is due in January. So we are going to pay for that as well. So those are the only exemptions of activities and things that are basically for fun. And then of course, obviously the mortgage and bills, those aren't necessarily fun, but they are spending that we are going to be doing in January. So I just filled out the rest of the no spend printable that I have. I am going to punch this and put it in my budget binder I have at home. I'm doing a full-size happy planner this year. I just have not gotten that video up yet, so stay tuned for that in a couple days. And I did get to color in January 1st because we did not spend money on January 1st. We had originally planned to meet up with friends, but they wanted to go to a museum that we didn't have a pass for, so we did not go. And while that was a bummer because I love hanging out with people, I am very happy that we've already started off the month with a no spend day because it would have been really disappointing to fail on day one. So that's the plan for the month. So this is what I have for the no spend month of January for me. And I did set my own rules, and that's kind of what I like about no spend month is you set your own rules. There are general guidelines out there. And basically the general guideline is 1, to set your own rules, and 2, not spend money on anything that's a want. Basically needs only, no wants. Just cut out all discretionary spending, all fun spending, all of your personal allowance type money. Some people allow allowances, and some people do groceries, and some people cut their grocery budget too. We are doing regular grocery budget just because that is easier for us, and it's not an area where we've been overspending. So it is something that we're going to keep for the month and see if maybe next time we do it, we can plan to do a really low grocery budget. But because we were out of town before we started this January no spend, we just didn't have time to stock up or plan that well for that. So we're cutting all of like the fun stuff, but we are still going to have groceries. So hopefully that will get us through the month and keep us from eating out too much. We do have a bunch of gift cards, and that is the only way we are going to be eating out, is if we have gift cards. Thankfully, we do have several gift cards that we got for Christmas, so I am not going to stop us from using those, but that is all that we have. So if we don't want those restaurants, too bad. And that is the plan for the no spend in January. And so far it is going well. We have one day under our belts, and we already on that one day had to say no to activities and no to eating out. So it is going to be a long month if that is going to be the case every weekend and every day. But I feel pretty committed to it, and I'm excited to at least try it. If I fail, I fail, but I know I'll come out better on the other side for having at least attempted it. I am pretty excited to do the recap once this is over. I have a few questions that I think will be very beneficial. So basically, I have a little tracker that I made that has how many no spend days I had, how many oops days, and the total amount spent in the month. And then what I learned, what kept me motivated, because I can tell already motivation is going to be very hard for this. And then what I can do better next time. So I am planning to do this eventually again. This is my first time doing a no spend month, so I am not an expert by any means. If you are an expert and you do a no spend month all the time, or if you've done a no spend year, please let me know in the comments how you manage that and how you make it work, because I don't really have a plan right now other than to just tell myself no a lot. So that is the plan for January, and I'm excited about it. I will be back at the end of the month to do a recap video. I may do some check-ins in the middle, I'm not really sure, but you will see our budget reflect the goal to not spend this month. The budget actually will be pretty different in January, and I am going to switch to doing paycheck budgets for each paycheck that comes in. I've been kind of grouping them together, but my husband and I actually get paid on different weeks, so it's kind of more work for me to separate them out and put all our money together and do it that way. So I am going to actually do paycheck budgets as the money comes in, and it will be a little more actual specific, and that's going to be helpful. But we've also cut out a ton of expenses. I have dropped several things from our budget this month because they just didn't feel necessary. So those things are gone, and I will be doing the 2020 January budget tomorrow. So stay tuned for that because it's a little bit different. And then we will have, I think, 4 or 5 paychecks in the month of January, and those will also be very focused on not spending extra and focused on throwing money to the car fund, because this car is gonna have to go bye-bye, and we are gonna get a new car pretty soon. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling so motivated. I think it's gonna be soon. I'm excited. The goal for me is to try to substitute no spend activities, things that are free, with all of the stuff that we normally do that costs us money. So if you look on Pinterest, there's a ton of different ideas for things you can do during a no spend month and things that are free and fun. So I'm going to do a lot of those in January. I'm also going to be focusing on decluttering our house and getting our lives a little bit more streamlined and minimalistic, and just not so focused on spending money. So that is the goal of doing this, and I think that focusing more on time together and doing things that are, I do want to focus on time together and doing things that aren't necessarily costing money but are quality. And that's kind of my goal for 2020 overall, is to focus on quality and to focus on the things that matter and the people that matter, and to be very intentional about my actions with that. So that's something I'm not great about personally. I am very reactionary, and I can get caught up in saying yes to a lot of things that take me away from the stuff that I really care about. So I'm going to try in 2020 to be more focused and intentional, and no spending in January is the kickoff of that for me. If you are also doing a no spend month this month, let me know in the comments, because I would love some friends to commiserate with and maybe share tips or just talk about not spending money, because I've already realized in the second day that not spending money is unusual.